And while we're waiting for everybody to join, I'd like to introduce the film's director and our question director of this Q&A, Sean Cisterna.
Hi, Riley. Nice to see you again.
It's good to see you too.
Yeah, welcome everybody. How do you want to handle this? Do you want to put questions in the chat or have people raise their hand and ask questions? What's the polite way of doing things these days?
I think if everyone is good to use the raise your hand function, you can also throw your questions in the chat if you can't seem to figure out how to use Zoom. I totally get it. Like Zoom is not the easiest thing to use ever. And we will also be being joined by Sarah Fisher and Luke Phillip and my little sister, Sammy, who is going to be fielding some of the Allison family questions as well.
I see her. There's Sammy.
Sammy, unmute yourself and say hi.
Hi, everyone.
Hello.
Hello.
There's Sarah and Luke.
And there's
together.
Sarah and Luke. Hello. I know. Surprise.
Is that a California glow on you?
It's sweat, but yeah, no, let's call it that. I prefer that.
That's what
for
it's
sure. No, I prefer California glow. That sounds a lot nicer to me.
Nice. We both happened to be in LA at this right time and made this happen. Very nice of you.
It was very
Happy to be here.
meant to be.
Oh, yes, it was.
Yeah.
We are so thrilled to have you guys. We're so excited to be able to offer Kiss and Cry free to stream for everybody on the Carley's Angels website. Big thank you to our sponsors, LPI. Their link is below on the Carley's Angels page, which is probably how you got here if you want to learn more about them. They have generously supported the webpage, the building of it, allowing us to actually host the video, and of course to the director of the movie for giving us all the access we needed to so that everybody could stream Kiss and Cry whenever they wanted until it finds its new home.
Cool, cool, cool.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'll keep adding people who are in the waiting room to the chat, but feel free to let her rip, Sean.
Who's gonna be the first one? Otherwise, I'll start asking questions. Yeah, I don't see any hands up. So I don't know. Do you guys remember like what was the what were the kind of questions we got when we streamed at festivals? Do you remember, Sarah and Luke? What people would ask when we after we finished the movie?
Are you asking us, Sean?
Yeah. I'm trying to remember what the questions were. Yeah. Number one was that you really figure skating. How about that?
Wasn't you
Ugh.
really?
Well, here's the cool thing. I did train with Rye, and Rye can vouch for me. I did train, but and I actually trained with one of Carley's coaches, which was very cool. But the cool thing about it is I find often with that kind of thing, you have a double, and they usually take really like tight shots of like, I don't know, like their skates and like an arm and like a thing. But the cool thing that we were able to do, which is I think why we tricked so many people, because I had a lot of people thinking it was me. I was incredibly flattered, but I'm not, ask this guy, I'm not a graceful person. It's just not me. I'm not the best. But the cool thing was why we were able to have shots with Tessa like fully turning and like doing everything. And we had her face in so many shots, which is why I think people were thinking it might have been me, but it's just because we actually kind of look alike. We actually look decently alike. And she just was such a beautiful figure skater. And I think we just looked like that people got kind of tricked by it. And we made so many shots where we weren't trying to get her face out of it because it just worked. So yeah, it worked so well.
I have a question.
Talk to me.
On the Carley Instagram page recently, there was like a comparison. I don't know if you guys saw this, like on Instagram, it was like the scene versus the movie. Did you see
yeah.
that? So in that shot, that's not you. It's like
in the shot of the movie.
Yes, it's like the comparison of obviously, like you know that specific shot where she's jumping and spinning, because that actually looks
Do you
like
think that's me?
I honestly thought like it was just enough that it looked exactly like. So that wasn't you.
That wasn't me. But Rye can say that I learned. It's in my head. I think it's called a cowlick, but I also think that's what you call that thing in your hair, and I think I'm really wrong. But I think it's a cow something. A sow cow.
Cow.
I learned how to sow cow. It just didn't look good enough to film it, but I did learn it, which was a really, it was a great experience to be able to fall into a world that Car loves so much. And I mean, Car was so phenomenal at so many things, figure skating, singing, horseback riding. So it was very cool to get to, you know, start to fall in love with myself with one of her passions. Was very cool. We trained, right, how long did we train before shooting? I actually don't remember how long it was, but we we trained for a decent amount of time before shooting started.
Like we were on the ice months before, for sure.
Yeah. And
to give you credit, you actually skated at the end of that scene where we cut the reel for kissing, like for the Instagram. You're the last bit of that skating bit when when you have your hands on your knees.
You catch a little bit of me. And the funny thing is Luke is actually a great skater because Luke is a hockey player. I'm going to speak for you.
Yeah,
you're right here, but I'm going to do it. He's a great skater. So it's funny because John in real life, from my understanding, because I've never skated with John, but from my understanding is maybe not the strongest skater
at that point in time.
And so, you know, for Luke, he had to have these scenes where he'd fall and he like just wasn't a good skater, but it was funny because you're a really good skater.
I hurt myself more doing that scene than like anything I've ever done.
In life?
So unnecessary. It just like was flopping to the ground.
When you I'm gonna ring that bell, when you hit, that was like a hip to ice. Like that was not.
Yeah, I commit.
That wasn't.
I like to commit as an actor.
You're just a method actor. That's what
so
it is.
Like, you want some shin pads? I'm like, yeah, I'm good.
No,
I'm like,
fine.
I have a question. Guys,
Cool.
sorry. I have a question. Sorry. What time did you have to be on set?
That's a good question. I'm gonna say too early. Sean, to you. Totally kidding.
It's different every day. I mean, every day we have something called a call sheet, which lists, you know, the producers will send out a sheet to all the cast and crew who are involved in making the film, and we get a call sheet letting us know where to go, what scenes are being shot, what the dialogue in the script is, what you have to wear, what time your makeup time is. But yeah, we started pretty early. I'd say around 6 o'clock most mornings.
Okay.
Yeah.
Early enough that I didn't want to hear anyone talking. Not a morning person. That was like the
With
time
that-
when me and you were.
Sorry. I wrote a lot of questions. Sorry.
That's
No,
okay.
don't be sorry at all. Oh my gosh. No, we love it. We well, that's the thing. We're both not morning people, but I think when we're together,
Yeah.
not that it not that it changes. I just think like
No.
I don't know. I
No.
just think we love to chat. So
You had to be separated from the makeup room is what.
well, we did. Well,
yeah.
I remember one of the first nights I was in my onesie, because we were doing hair and makeup in my house, and I was in a fluffy moose onesie. I think that's an important detail. And I was behind. There's a picture of us in a train. Like I was in a chair. You were right behind me in a chair. Do you remember? And we were getting hair and makeup. It's rude.
Sorry. Keep going.
No, just like it was me in a chair and you in a chair in a train, and there's a picture of us in this like sitting getting our makeup done in this.
It was just,
train.
I mean, it
I
was
was getting
too
my
early.
eyebrows.
It was way too early for me to have any mental recollection.
I would love to see a picture of that.
I will gladly post it. I'm in a
You
moose
have it?
onesie. I do. I just would have to find it, but I do.
Now.
Well, all right.
On this
Okay.
call.
Okay.
All right, what's one of your other questions? Thank you for coming so well prepared.
This one's for Luke.
Let's hear
Okay.
it.
Did you get caught setting the car alarm off?
In reality, I don't think we had a car alarm.
It was my family's car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it? Oh yeah.
It was our car. Yeah.
I think no. It was always. I'm trying to remember, but I think that was always just. There was no car. No, I think maybe
We did
they
it
put
in
it on,
post.
or I think maybe someone standing there was like the car clicker.
Like the first scene when you're standing outside her house and
Yeah, no, it's just a little bit of movie magic. It's like I bump into it and then I scuffle back.
and you ran like
as far away as I could. I was like, you're long out of shot.
We kept running. We couldn't find you. Yeah, it's weird.
Just keep going.
I think we just kept locking it so the lights would come on,
Oh,
and then
that's
in
what it was,
post
yes.
we added in the sound of the alarm, but there was no alarm that went off on the day. We just-
Okay.
I think so.
it was just your phenomenal
My
reaction moment.
acting skills.
You did good.
It's all those
did
years of
great.
lessons that teach you.
This one's for okay, next question. This one's for Sarah and Luke. How did you find out you were cast? What was your reaction, and what were you doing that day?
That's a very good question. Me?
You started off because then it makes more sense. What with the story? You know.
Okay, so well, so I had a movie premiere with Sean for a movie we did called Full Out that was on Netflix. That's right behind
Yeah,
his face there. And we loved working together and wanted to work together again. So when Sean had this open opportunity for me to be able to work with him again, which was so great and so fun, I was thinking of a story that I wanted to tell, and my mom and I talked about it, and I said, well, if I want to share a story, I want to share a story that inspires people. And obviously the first name that came to mind was Carley Allison, of course. So, we kind of, from there, I told Sean, I said, I have an elevator pitch. So like a 13-second, like real quick pitch, but we know I love to talk a lot. So by 13 seconds, it was a 2.5 hour of every detail I could give him of a pitch. And we sat down and then, I mean, so in terms of me being casted for Carley, I think it was something I obviously considered very seriously, and we all wanted to make sure we were finding the right person. And I wanted to make sure that, of course, Car's family and everyone was comfortable and happy, and I didn't want to jump to any conclusions either. I was very open to whatever was the right thing to do was what I thought we should do, whether it was me or not me. I think we had a lot of sort of discussions about that, and of course it's an honor is too small a word to describe playing someone like her, but yeah, and I guess at one point I think we all kind of just, I don't quite remember the exact moment, but I feel like we all kind of just came together and we're just like this I think it just sort of felt right. And yeah, it will be one of the roles forever that will be the most special role I ever get to play, really, is her. So yeah, go for it.
So
We met at
such a
Crepes, do you
beautiful,
remember?
yeah. Did we meet at Crepes
We met at
first?
Crepes
Did you
with
come to
John.
my house first?
Like in your house.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, Sarah and Sean. No, I know. I think first things first, I met with just you, Sean, at the bar.
That's right. Yeah.
We went to just have a little pitch, and then obviously I think I was kind of confused. I didn't know that it was kind of involving Sarah, who we knew and were such great friends, but it was kind of like a realization of a moment. But you gave me the pitch of the story, and I got to know you a little bit better, and then I was like, I can't really remember what happened. I was like, let's just keep talking about it. I think we talked for like probably about 2 hours as well, and I don't even think we got through the whole script either, like talking about it fully. So you sent it over, I read it, and then the two of them came over to my house with my parents, and they sat me down for about 4 hours. We had a full Italian meal.
We were fed beautifully.
Yeah,
That's one of the first things I was going to say.
Some nice pasta, some
Stunning.
dessert,
Yeah,
a glass or two of wine. And then I don't know, obviously the story is just so powerful, but I was determined to then be in LA at the time, and the schedule for filming wasn't really going to work for me. And then I think Sarah was like, just come meet John. I know you're not signed yet, or we're not, right? We weren't.
Yeah, nothing was, I don't think anything was set in stone, but I was like, you remind me so much of John. And I was like, you just got to meet him because he's phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
And we went to get crepes.
And it was, I don't know if we sat down, it was like the way we sat down in the chair, I was like, whoa, we're the same person. And then we sat together, an hour and a half, whatever. And I was just, so many mannerism things, and then hearing his side of the story as well. And then I picked up the phone. I was like, listen, this is kind of the only way. It was really interesting the way you guys were able to kind of work it out, because we shot a portion of the movie and then we left.
Yeah.
We shot what we could in the snow. And then for the skating rink.
Yeah, remember?
Oh, that was our first day. The last scene was the first day of shooting. That's right.
So that stuff, we did, the lion stuff, and then we left. I came out to LA,
Yeah.
We left for a little while, and then we picked back up production, and it was really strange because I've personally never had that happen where you leave a character for a while and then come back, but it felt in my mind that gap never happened.
But I think it's because of our relationship in real life.
Yes.
Had we not had that, I think it would have been an adjustment. It's our job. It wouldn't have been an issue. I just think it's an adjustment. But since we were already such great friends, I think there was no issue. Even, first day of shooting, filming the last scene when they've had this beautiful long relationship, which again is our job. It wouldn't be an issue, but
makes it easier.
It just makes it a lot easier. Yeah, for sure.
Okay, I have a question for Riley and Samantha. Was it difficult having a film crew invade your home? Is that something that's super invasive and did it make you feel uncomfortable, or was it a fun experience, or a combination of both?
I'm unmuting Sammy or try. Oh, there we are. Go ahead, Sammer.
It wasn't weird it was actually really cool getting to see the making of a movie in your own house, on your own home. It was pretty interesting. That was my take on that. Riley, did you have one?
Yeah, I mean, I really enjoyed being able to be behind the camera and being able to help ensure, obviously, I know everyone was going to do an amazing job, but it was nice for us to feel a part of it and make sure Car's life was told in the way that we knew it happened. And like Sean and Sarah and Luke and everybody involved made it their mission during that period of time to make sure it was done perfectly. So yeah, it was really cool. Like teeny bit hard some days when we all had to cram into Dad's office because that was like the only part of the house that the crew wasn't allowed to touch. But other than that, it was I'm with Sammy. It was an amazing experience.
Good. You were very kind to open your doors to allow a film crew you didn't necessarily know that well to come in and participate in the making of this awesome story. So yeah, thank you. I will always remember that, your hospitality at that time in our lives. That was wonderful. Any other questions? We have a question in the chat. How can we get more involved with carrying Carley's legacy forward? It's probably a Riley question.
I would love to answer that question. I was actually typing my little answer, but there's so many ways you can carry Carley's legacy forward. One of them, and the simplest, is to use her motto, and to use her motto to treat other people with kindness and brighten other people's day. There's so many situations that we face on a daily basis, and a lot of the times, Sammy, myself, and lots of people that we know who have been touched by Carley's story think, okay, this is how my day's been unfolding and it hasn't been so great, but I can find a reason to smile today. And that was kind of how she dealt with everything. That's an interesting question. Can I follow up with that in the chat?
Yeah.
So Carley didn't necessarily call it Always Smile before she got sick and she started her blog, which is what she named Always Smile. And then that's kind of how it snowballed. And she carried on, talking about what she did that day or what someone did that day to make her smile. But the way we describe it is she kind of learned it from figure skating. In figure skating, you have to do all these really difficult elements. You jump, you spin, you're physically exhausted, but you have to do it with a smile on your face. So personally, and our family's talked about it a lot, she learned Always Smile, kind of fake it till you make it, from skating. And then when she got sick, she used what she had learned from that sport through her battle with cancer, and it evolved into the most incredible motto, which was Always Smile.
Wow. Awesome.
That's what I love about it. There's always little things that I'm still learning all these years later.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. It's so good.
Well, that's a good question. Oh, so where do you put it's dimes. Where do you put the dimes after you find them?
Oh,
That's a very good question.
I feel like we all have dime stories. I'm like, who goes first? If I may start, I found, I always say roughly 60, but I know at this point it's at least closer to 100 dimes, and that's no joke. I have one in my purse. When I find them, I put them on my person. Yeah, wherever I am, I'll put them in my jean pocket. I have one in my purse right now. And in the last couple months, I found specifically, I can't remember if I told you this or not, but in the last couple months, I have found a ton, like so many. And every time I get one, I just feel the Carley glow. I feel that warmth. I feel that connection to her, and it's so special. But I can't tell you how many I found. And actually, right, I haven't told you this yet. But I have a little tattoo. Do you see the little X? It's really small. You can hardly see it.
God.
Oh my
For 10. But it also is for Kiss and Cry, which is kind of cool that it kind of has a bit more meaning. And a couple girlfriends who, of course, adore and are very close to Rye.
I might get one.
Oh,
I
amazing.
might get one. I mean,
Beautiful. Well, Abby, one of our producers, got a huge, like bigger, like the palm of my hand tattoo of a dime, Always Smile on his shoulder, which was so incredible. So, no, I find them all, and I have some pretty, I will share one or two because they're so crazy. I found a dime once in, I had a gift from at Christmas. It was this little, it was just some of those elastics, like those like telephone, you know, those weird spinny elastics. Anyway, it was this little plastic box, and I opened it. It was new, like brand new. It was a gift. I opened it and I poured out the little hair elastics, and a dime fell out. And then when I got my hair dyed to be lighter for to play car, there was, like, you know, they have that little tray beside you, and there was nothing on the tray. I didn't see a thing. And then someone, my hair artist came over, gave me like tea, a brush, and like a, I don't know, a hair dryer or something. And next time I looked over, there was a dime on the table. And I was like, I kind of freaked out. I was like, yeah, did you put this here? And she was like, no, like, of course not. And I explained to her, and she had tears all up in her eyes because she was just like, so powerful. And it's very special whenever I find a dime. It makes me very happy to find them, for sure. Have you found?
I think
I had a crazy moment. My family, that was the weird thing that was kind of like a double thing, is that we've been finding dimes in our family since the early, early 2000s.
I didn't know that.
When I went to go meet Sean, it was snowing, and I put my foot down into this I got out of the car, my foot went down probably about this far into snow, and I was like, are you kidding me? And I like took my leg out, and at the bottom of this chasm that I just made with my leg is a dime. And that was before before they even said anything. So it's funny that it's like I take the dime as well as like it's a place where you're meant to be on your path. It was like a double thing, that it was like, I'm meant to do this as well as this secondary as well. Carried the meaning.
That's nuts. I think I remember that. Well, we had me, Brittany, and Julia, who play my sisters, Sammy and Rye. When Britt had already found dimes, she already knew what that was. She had already experienced finding dimes, but Jules had no idea what that was. And we met to have crepes, which we all do just too often. Just far too, that's all we do. And we spoke about it with her, and we said, well, now that you're a part of Carley's circle and Carley's life, you're going to find a dime. But we didn't know. We were just throwing that out there going, I'm sure you will. And on her way home, Julia found a dime on the subway at her feet on her way home. So it was pretty incredible. And I'm sure, you know, Sammy, Rye, Sean, I'm sure you guys have some pretty incredible, I think we all have had some pretty incredible dime stories that just don't make sense. That are pretty, I don't know, they're pretty incredible. But yeah.
Sammy has one from the actual Toronto premiere, but she can also probably speak to where we keep all the dimes once we find them.
So my dad actually keeps a dime book. He's on dime book number 4. So he puts a dime that we find, we tape it to the book on each page. And I think the first one he started doing like 5 dimes per page, and there's now 4 books. So it's pretty insane. The book is so heavy too. But the dimes in there, and puts a little story of whoever found it and where they found it and that kind of stuff too. Yeah.
Nice. All right. Sarah, I encourage you to read Ashley's comment. We're not gonna read it out loud and embarrass her, but there's a lovely comment in there from Ashley Cockett to you, Sarah. But Steve has a good question. What was the most emotional scene to do, and for the Allison family, the hardest to watch? Both good questions. So, Sarah, do you want to take it away first?
I'm looking my face of us reading. Ashley, I'll answer the question. I was just at the bottom of your comment, but Ashley, thank you, sweetie. That's so nice. That's so sweet of you to say. So thank you so much. Sorry,
I
Sean,
love the song.
Oh, you're here. Thank you. Thanks, love. That's so nice.
I love the song. I just lost a friend like a month ago, and it's incredibly hard.
Of course. I'm so sorry, love, but thank you so much. That's so sweet. Oh, sending so many hugs to you. So many hugs to you. Sending so much love.
I love you both. So I'm fangirling hard.
Love you too. Sean, I wasn't listening to you. What?
Let's just skip the question. We have a special performance from Sarah right now. She's going to sing the song for everybody. No?
Sean, you stop that.
Brought my guitar.
What was the most emotional scene for you to do, Sarah?
I think there were two. I think the most emotional scenes for me. See, the thing with Car is you had to work really hard to understand, not to understand, to know how she was feeling, because Car never made it about. She didn't want to go there. She would want to know about you. She would. So I remember once I actually just a quick side story here was I told Car I was supposed to hang out with her, and I said, sorry, love, I can't see you today. I have a cold, and I didn't want to see her with a cold and get her sick in any way. First thing Car says, of course, is, oh my God, sweetie, are you okay? I'll bring you tea. Are you well? And like, that's Carley. Like, that is just one out of a billion moments of the extraordinary, like, selflessness that like she carries. Like, she was so much more concerned about my sniffle that she like was like, how can I help you? And I was like, no, like I just so she knew why I couldn't come over was because I was sick. But my point being, it, you know, I think the scenes that were more challenging for me was I think it was the scene where I get diagnosed with cancer for the first time, and the scene where it comes back. And I think, again, it's because, you know, I don't know quite how to speak to this, but essentially, as an actor bringing a character to life, you know that, of course, you're trying to embody everything, like that emotional hit with whatever it is that your character is experiencing. But and you know that that hit is pretend, it's something you're creating and all that stuff. And I guess to experience it in the smallest possible way that I could, again, being, you know, an actor bringing a story to life, I guess it's just the perspective, or it just opens this other gate or door where you start to consider and think about how it must have actually felt. I think that's a really hard, I think anything that was more related to the cancer and the diagnosis, I think that, and I believe on set, I remember a day on set where pretty much the whole family, but especially, you know, me, Brittany, and Julia, were just bawling on each other. And that was such a beautiful part of this movie, is it went so much deeper than a job for, I think, everybody. So yeah, I think the scenes that were more focused on that part of it, it was a little harder for me to shake off the way I'm used to doing my job. Yeah.
Good, that's a good answer. Okay, so we have questions about the coldest night of filming. The coldest night of filming, I don't know. Probably one of our exterior shots in the last scene.
Well, I will say there was a scene we deleted for a reason, and we reshot because, Sean, you don't remember? There was a scene with me.
Jogging.
Scene, huh?
It was jogging.
It was a scene in oh God, it was in the rink, at the rink, and it was so cold, and like we were all speaking through our teeth, like we couldn't. It was so freezing, and we're like, well, this isn't usable. So we had to reshoot it somewhere warmer because the whole scene was like, yeah, and it just, we couldn't, we just like weren't able to. Do you not remember that? We reshot it because it, Sean.
Oh,
Yeah, we reshot it. Anyway, that was the coldest in my mind.
Yeah.
I remember being like so tense. It was so hard to speak.
The longest night of filming, I would say that was the first night when Luke had another job, right? We were shooting that scene outside of the Carley's house. That was like on our first day of shooting.
I think we started at like 5 or 6 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
Night, right?
I think we started late in the day, but
I showed up.
We were doing a TV series, and we shot all of Sarah's cover first, just to wind down the hours until Luke could come to our set and film with us.
You guys were so nice. That was so nice.
Yeah, I'd argue the other.
Yeah.
I'd argue the other longest scene was you trying to get the necklace on me.
Oh my god.
The moment where Luke had to put the necklace on me and then reveal for the prom night. Luke couldn't. It's hard.
There's a moment that always sticks with me is Sean. You like, because they're the director and the producers are not on set. They're like off set just a little bit in like a little room, and we can still hear them. And I'm like, this is probably take 4 of me botching a take of 4 that's being like. Keep going. And then I'm like trying. I'm like, just we're gonna do it later, man. It's gonna be in a close up, okay? And I'm like, oh, thank God, because this is not happening.
But it got to a point where when you would do it, I could feel the struggle. Like I could feel sweat. Luke just pouring sweat, just being like, it's not gonna happen. And every time we would both like we couldn't hold it together because it took so long.
Yeah, that was.
It took a long time, but it was great. It was a great.
I have a question.
Jump right in.
Okay. Dang. Sorry, I wrote it down. Sorry. How did you prepare for a cry scene?
Go for it. I tweeze a hair right
from Sarah pulls the back of my neck.
That's what it is.
There was a lot of moments where we did a lot of talking. I remember before the last scene when we hadn't really gone through much of actual filming.
Well, that was the first day. It was the last scene, I think, of the first day of shooting was the last scene of the movie.
Yeah, and I think me and you talked in the car for probably about 40 minutes, an hour, about just their story and their relationship. And there's something about like sadness. There's a lot of moments of like tears from sadness, but it's like also tears.
So you didn't cut an onion? Or
No.
That's what I do. Cut an onion.
There's no time for that.
There's no time for that.
Sean, bring in the onions.
Well, I remember Sean. I remember me telling you just that I just remember. I forgot about this. I remember me telling you. I don't know if you know what I'm about to say, but I remember. Wait, you weren't finished answering. Sorry, you go.
No, I was it. That was it.
Okay.
I'm more curious with what you have to say now.
Sean, I just remember telling Sean, I just was like, I just want you to know, because my scenes in Full Out with you, I didn't really have a scene that was incredibly emotional to this extent. I remember telling you I might need a little bit of like a moment where I don't want anyone to think I just might need to be in my own space for just a quick moment before we dive in. But before we were shooting, just went, everyone leave Sarah alone, she needs a moment. You yelled something that was so funny to me. I forget what it was. You kind of like announced it, but it was very funny. But yeah, no, that was the first day, and that was a pretty big moment. But again, I think the pre-existing relationship made that kind of history that they have, made that.
Adam, can we go to your question next?
Yeah, this is for Sarah. How were you able to film the national anthem at the Leafs game? How were you able to like film it at Scotia Bank?
My question.
Good question.
Because that scene made me that scene reminded me of like one of my fraternity brothers throwing out the first pitch at a Mets game. Apparently he passed away from a brain tumor. So we did a pie of pie event at our school in honor of him. Like all proceeds were donated to like brain cancer research. So like, and then he had got his final wish was to throw out a ceremonial first pitch at the Mets game versus Philadelphia. And when I was watching the movie, we had a movie night with our fraternity. I put the scene where you filmed the Maple Leaf game singing the national anthem, and my brothers got so emotional, like I said, and we we're like crying because he got to throw his first pitch to Mike Piazza, Mets legend. The way how you got to film Carley sing the national anthem at the Leafs game, that hit us so hard though. Like, that hit us so hard.
Of course. I think that's so incredible. And Adam, I remember this story. I remember you sharing this, and thank you for sharing that. I remember you talking about that, and that's so special. That's really incredible. And Sean could probably answer part of this because I know that we had a connection. But again, I mean, at the end of the day, every time we said the name Carley Allison, everyone bent over backwards to say, what do you need? What do you want? Mm-hmm. And that's the truth. The truth is it's Carley, and I'll just put all of it's on her. She was able to, you know, again, you meet her for a half a moment. You even see a video online and you're so touched by her that honestly, everyone just kind of came together and made it happen. And that's the truth. It's all Car. The cool part about that as well was that it was the only scene, I think the only scene where I was actually, I wore her outfit. I wore the clothes that she wore when she sang. And I think I was, because Car sang more than once at the Leafs. They loved her, of course. And I went to one of the games, and I think she was wearing that. Ryan, I don't know if you remember, or Sammy, I think that was the game I went to, was the one she wore that outfit at. I'm pretty sure, yeah. So it was very, it was quite surreal and quite special to me to be in actually her outfit for that night. And the woman singing the American anthem was the woman who sang the American anthem when Car did. And she saw me from the back, and she was so moved, and she was just sort of saw Carley, and I turned around and I spoke with her, and poor girl was just about to go out and sing the anthem, but she was so, you know, touched by, she just, you know, she remembered it so well. I don't know if you guys have any other details to add to that. I know that we had some really wonderful people.
I was about to mention. The way, I don't know how many times Carley got to sing the anthem, but the president of my fraternity, like recently, because I'm also part of the alumni association, like they're inviting us back to the Mets game on May 14th versus the Mariners, and we're gonna bring the whole fraternity as one. We'll throw out a ceremony first pitch, because it's brain cancer awareness night at the New York Mets versus Seattle Mariners game on May 14th. So my fraternity brothers, like parents, will be there to throw out the ceremonial first pitch, and
That's great. That's so special. That's really cool.
I have a question. So Kiss and Cry was on Netflix for 4 years or so. So for the Allison family, what has been can you give us an example of some messages that you may have received from viewers around the world? How, knowing that your sister's story has traveled so far around the world, can you share one story of a special message that you may have heard from someone from afar?
I can start. Sammy probably has a ton too. We get a ton to Carly's Angels, like the Carly's Angels account, but we also get a ton personally. And those emails that we get where people are sharing their stories and how they used Carly's motto for always, to always smile, and how that helped them through any adversity. It wasn't necessarily like cancer. It was, they broke their leg, or they had a really difficult, uphill battle at work. There was one little girl in BC whose mom shared her story, and she actually had brain cancer and watched Kiss and Cry and fell in love with Carly's story. She learned to skate and she beat brain cancer. And it was like, she has all sorts of Carly's Angels things. She wears the jewelry. She connects with us all the time. But the mom says that her name is Paige. She got through this because of Carley. And that is enough for everything to be for Carley sharing her story to be absolutely worth it. It's hard, of course, to, see the story every once in a while. I mean, it's hard for us to relive it, but to have it help so many people so genuinely, it's outrageous. It really is.
Your sister helped me when I was in the hospital. I watched that movie every day.
Wow, that's amazing. I don't know if Sammy wants to share this story, but there's a tattoo story. Sammy, I can't see you.
I'm here. If this, I'm gonna say a tattoo story. I think this is the one that Riley's thinking of. But so I got a tattoo of an angel on my wrist just because, you know, that's how I see Carley. And then someone no, Riley, is this right?
DM'd you or DM'd Carly's Angels?
I think it was Carly's Angels. And they got the same tattoo because to commemorate Carley, which was quite.
That's awesome. Great. Okay, so what about John? What was John's reaction to the film, and was he on set when we were filming?
I'm trying to think which days he came. Well, we had the
We
one
had pictures
day.
when you asked me on a date at my house outside the door, and I'm like, Judgy John Jonerson. That scene
Oh my god.
is where I remember because I have a picture of you and John, and I showed it to everyone when I was like, they're twins. They're the same person. And I remember it was from that night shooting. Oh no, or was that the zoo? Or was that the zoo?
That might have been the zoo. But we did
Might have
have
been
the
the
one
zoo.
day where the family came at the end. Remember at the
Yeah,
end?
the dinner scene. The dinner scene. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He's in the movie. That was my other thing. I was gonna say, how many of there are a couple of they're both in the movie, right?
I think Ryan is at I know a lot of Car's friends are in the movie as well. John's sitting right beside you. The moment where you two laugh at each other at the table, every time my whole body and my heart just that moment for me. Whew.
But it's,
You guys just look at each other and it's the most beautiful, genuine laughter and so much because we were just all chatting. We were just chatting in that moment, like we were all, you know, they have music over, but they let us all chat and just have fun. I don't know what was going on, but yeah, you guys.
it is a different experience having
Yeah.
the person
Oh, yeah.
that you're portraying in front of you, and then even getting to just ask stories about the script and seeing what the script is relatable to what actually happened in life, and kind of getting to compare those two and getting to gauge your vibe off of someone else. It was crazy.
I think you guys were so similar to begin with, too.
Mm-hmm.
Just so many similar qualities, but
Yeah,
yeah.
just little things like just making her smile and things like that
Yeah.
add to the layers. But he's such a great guy.
Oh, the
Genius.
best.
Super genius.
Good questions. So we're gonna wrap up around 7:30, so we could probably have time for 2 or 3 more questions. Does anyone want to throw their hand up? Leia, do you have another question?
Oh, yeah, sorry. This one's for Luke. Sorry, I'm nervous. Sorry.
Me too. Okay, don't be nervous.
In Hellions, is Jason an alien? I've been dying to know that. I've been watching it over and over again trying to figure it out.
No, I don't think so. I don't think
What?
so. I wish I had a more complicated answer for you, but no. I have a question.
Okay.
What was the most complicated technical scene that you think you like? What was your most complicated? Maybe technical, but like also with locations. Like what was like maybe the biggest hurdle
That's a
to
good
jump over for filming?
Hey, Sean, can I jump in, or do you want to take it first? Hi, everybody. First off, hi, Sarah. Hi, Luke. How you guys doing? Great to see you. Nice to see you again, as always. Hi, everybody that's joining.
Great to see you too.
Good to see you too. Sean, you want to answer first, and I can answer after. I got a good story, but why don't you go first?
Sure. Well, complicated technical thing. Well, it's very difficult to get a camera on the ice. So we tested out a couple of different options. We had this like metal thing that the camera would strap to that we'd slide along the ice, but that didn't quite work as well as we thought it would.
I thought that was the story of the good thing that works. Yeah, no, okay.
That didn't turn out so well. So the best thing was getting the Steadicam operator, like a big expensive piece of equipment that would strap onto the camera operator's body, and found an operator who could skate. And that was the best, most graceful thing that we found, is using a Steadicam on the ice on a powerful skater and maneuvering around the stunt double as we were able to skate around with her. So it created.
Sean, you wouldn't say the scene where we had the water with me in the bathtub.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Wouldn't say that was one, huh?
No, that's pretty easy.
What happened?
Well, there's a moment that's just a moment where Car describes how the anesthetic didn't work, and how she felt like she was drowning. So we thought creatively it would be an interesting scene to watch, as if she was on the table but felt like she was drowning and had the water come up. And so what we did is we had me in a bath, and we had 2 huge like buckets of water, and they actually drilled in my, like above my hip, they drilled me into, so I stayed down in the bath, so when the water came in I didn't float. But I was like, well, floating sounds nice. So they filled the water in, and I remember, and the water fills up, so I look to camera through the water, and then I sit up, but I'm still strapped in. But I remember in our first shot, someone on set, I don't know whether, I'm not going to blame it on anyone. Of course, it doesn't matter. Things happen. I don't remember what it was, but someone left a cloth in the bath. So when the water came through, the cloth went up near my face. And we were all like,
You got waterboarded.
Not a good time.
Sarah.
But anyway, Sean, I'm surprised that didn't come to mind.
That was a good one.
That was only you
That was
struggling.
only
That wasn't
me.
his struggle. He saw you
I'm sorry.
from afar. It was like, no,
You're
that's-
great. It was like,
I'm
she's
good.
gonna be fine.
She'll be
She's
fine.
great.
Wipe
She'll
it
be
off.
okay.
Get the rag out of the bathtub. Let's go again.
Sarah.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. I'll ask after. Go ahead.
Okay, David, why don't you tell your story and then.
Okay, quickly, we I don't know if you guys remember this, Sarah and Luke and Sean, we had a fire drill we had a fire alarm go off in
I have a lot of videos.
fire alarm. And that was right after I left set the day we were filming. Oh my gosh. And you played it next day at lunch. You were playing it on your phone. We got so scared. Like, do we have to leave? And you were playing it on your phone. It was crazy. I couldn't believe that happened to you guys. And I was right after I left when you guys were.
I had no dialogue that day. It was
Well,
all
that was
him.
the best part about it, is that we got all of the coverage of you laying down in bed, and
Yeah.
we're like, we're gonna turn around to me, and I think a little bit of it's cut out because I do like a whole other little like shimmy thing, because that's not in there, right? The whole see my stars.
Oh yeah, you have to pull your
So there's
pants
a little
down.
bit more to that scene that I'm still
Yeah.
talking, and I like, maybe we got the first take in, maybe. I think it cut us off in like the middle of like the first
Yeah.
time. Like, it's okay, and it's like, beep. We were like,
When your mom
really go
wanted
off.
to-
It was like 35 minutes.
It
something
was a
longer like that,
It was a
Oh
chunk
my
of time,
God.
for sure.
It was an over.
The other big logistical moment I remember, that was a hard one, but I love telling this story. The first day of Bayview Glen, Sarah, you were such a pro. I remember this was amazing. For everyone that remembers the movie, Sarah talks to the camera and says, and then things just kind of went back to normal. We shot that scene first, very first scene we shot that morning, 3 to 5 takes. Sarah, you were such a pro. Luke, everybody that was on set with us was great. We got it done in under 5 minutes. But then the next scene we tackled was the message from John that Carley sent. I remember, because VFX was not going to be putting in the text until later. So what was supposed to be 5 minutes unfortunately became 20 minutes, because we tried every single way to see your phone of the shot and opening the textbook. And it was, oh man, it was so logistical, trying everything. And Sean's comment, I love your comment, Sean, was amazing. It takes us 5 minutes to shoot a scene, but it takes us 20 to send a message. And I just thought, what incredible way for Sean and everyone to handle that we ended up getting it, but just it took so long to do that. I love that story, but just how he did it was unbelievable. It was amazing.
Wonderful. Those are great stories. It was awesome, like reliving everything with all of you today. We're gonna go to Riley now for perhaps Riley, can you maybe let us know how we could all get involved in Carly's Angels a little further?
Absolutely. I see there's so many more questions. Do we want to take one or two more before we end it off? I think
Up to you, yeah.
Gabby has had her hand up for so long, and there's quite a few in the comments. Maybe we'll go to Gabby and then I'll be quick.
Okay. Gabby?
I just wanted to know, like if any of you had, like, any advice for somebody who's like going through like a really hard time, and like maybe like Riley and Sammy and Sarah, since you knew Carly, like what like you think Carly would say.
I don't want to shoot it to anyone first, but I don't know if Rye or Sam, if you want to.
No,
if you want
go fish, go.
Oh, I was put it. Okay. Wow. To be honest, I think.
What was that?
I think.
You calling me? Yeah, I'm on a live Zoom. I'm watching something.
Talking to somebody.
I'm
Talking to somebody. Talking to somebody else.
We'll stand by. It's all good. It's a big moment here.
Mike, in the meantime? Yeah, thank you.
Good?
We're pros.
Think we're okay?
Sarah, go ahead.
No? I think, I mean, of course, like a message that, with Car and that went through the movie, of course, was always smile. But I think, and that's such a huge part of it, of course, is finding those things that do make you happy and putting your energy and your focus into those things, into those relationships. But I think it goes so much deeper than that too. I think that again, like just the mindset that Car had for all of this, and the determination and the boundless optimism with that extraordinary woman to be able to go, I'm going to be fine, I'm going to be great, I'm going to thrive through this. And it was something that I think it just ran through her veins, that there was no other option but for her to rise above it. And as we all know, she did in every way, right? So I guess to you, first and foremost, just personally, I'm sending a lot of love and hugs, and personally to just say to love yourself and take care of yourself, and take every moment you need to live and breathe in whatever it is that you're going through. And please do never hesitate to reach out in any way, whether it be on Instagram, comment, whatever it is. Like, this is the great thing is this community through that Carly's Angels has created, and Kiss and Cry is just an absolute family. And I really mean that. So please don't hesitate. I would love to chat. And again, through Car, I just think, that you're extraordinary in every way, and you're powerful, and you've got everything in you to rise above everything and anything. And that doesn't take away from the fact that it's not easy to do that. But you've got a lot of love and support. And I can tell you, in this family, you do, no matter what, for sure.
Thank you.
Of course.
Sarah, I actually messaged you on Instagram.
Oh, you did? Did you? Was it a private message or was it on a picture?
It was a private message.
Okay, I don't always see those, but please message on a picture because I would love to chat with you.
I did comment on your recent picture.
You did?
And Luke's too.
What's the Instagram handle?
Princess Clea.
Stunning. Beautiful. I will look for it immediately.
Okay. And I did this for you.
Oh
my God.
That's so sweet.
Sweet angel. That's so nice. I don't know if Ryan and Sammy, if you guys want to talk to Gabby's response as well. Don't want to take the,
Sammer, do you want to go?
Riley, you can go for it.
Well, Gabby, I echo literally everything Sarah says. I think with these kinds of things, it's important to be authentic with yourself and give yourself time and rest and honor exactly how you're feeling in that moment. And then add a little bit of, the Carly touch to it. Just find something small that day to smile about. It doesn't have to be, you don't have to fake it till you make it or anything like that. Just a small reason to smile that day, and keep feeling what you're feeling, and you'll absolutely get through it. Sarah's absolutely right. But yeah, if we learned anything from Car, it's not that you have to just be sunshine and rainbows all the time. You can be sad, you can be angry, you can feel however you want to feel. Just remember at the end of the day to find one thing that made you smile.
Thank you.
May I ask a question, please?
Sure.
Yeah, I was wondering, is the film itself, Carly's Angels, did you all? I mean, it's a bit nosy, but did you get paid? Did you, like Sarah and that, get paid to do the movie, or did you do it for free, or how did that work out? I mean, I know Netflix probably paid something to Carly's Angels, well, I hope so. But I was wondering if you all did it for free, the movie?
Well, we're Canadian filmmakers, so it's basically free.
That's what I was wondering.
No.
What was the budget of that?
That was a great answer.
That was a great Rye. What Rye said. That you couldn't answer that better, Sean.
I'm from the UK, so
Yeah. No worries. No, it was a lower budget production. You know, we all got paid for our time. I don't think it was let's just say we did a lot of extra work that we didn't invoice for because we loved the project so much and we wanted to ensure its success in the marketplace. How about that? Yeah, everyone here has put a tremendous amount of time and love into the project just because, yeah, we are all so close to it and we all love it. But you know, there is a budget for making a movie, and yeah, we spent it in such a way that
it's one of the greatest movies I ever saw.
Yes, it is one of the greatest movies ever, thanks to a wonderful, amazing director. Our leader.
I can say that I've watched it several times over in the UK. I can say that I've watched it several times, and I must admit, it isn't true about men don't cry. Wow. That's untrue. I've shed a few tears, several tears.
Wow. So sweet, so sweet.
It gets me every time.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Cool. Well, we are at the end of our hour-long session. Now, Riley, would you like to conclude?
Yes, I would like to extend a huge thank you to every single person who took the time to join us tonight for the Kiss and Cry Q&A. Sean, the director of the movie and the director of our Q&A, thank you so much for your time, your insight, and your very quick responses. Sarah and Luke, it's one thing to say that you guys take the time to do this movie and to answer everybody's questions, but I would say that it's a pretty awesome and fate-filled coincidence that you guys were going to be together tonight and could actually film this side by side. So I don't think anything is a coincidence anymore, and I would believe that that was meant to be. Thank you guys so much for answering everybody's questions, being so amazing. Like you guys are unbelievable. We are so grateful to have you in
Thank
the
you,
lives.
Luke.
So much, and Sean, and Allison.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
And thank you, Sammy, for joining. And for last few parting words, I'd like to thank our sponsor who made this possible, LPI Mechanical Contractors. If you want to learn more about them, they're on the Carly's Angels page. You can click their link and give them a big thank you from us. And if you have any other questions about Carly's Angels or want to get involved, check out our website. There are so many ways to carry on Carly's legacy and be involved with Carly's Angels and Kiss and Cry. We have DVDs for sale and soundtracks, but we also host events where we bring people together. We allow community members to host events for us, like bake sales and fun things to raise awareness for Carly's Angels, to raise awareness about Carly's incredible motto. Yeah, there's endless opportunities to get involved with Carly's Angels. Obviously, we have our store, we have events, and we are so grateful for every single person here who's part of the Kiss and Cry family and hopefully the Carly's Angels family. So thank you. Every single action you guys do, joining us, liking our things on Carly's Angels or even on Kiss and Cry, help move the needle for integrative cancer care and for patients that we support with the programs that we fund at Carly's Angels. And we would never have reached the milestones we've reached or the people that we've reached or the funds that we've raised without Kiss and Cry. It goes without saying, but I have to say it. So thank you.
And Rye, you're extraordinary. I love you. Thank you. Sammy, love you guys. Sean, everyone.
We love you all.
Okay?
Is there going to be more Q&As?
Are you okay?
If you guys loved it that much and you guys are interested in more Q&As, we can definitely talk about it. We'll drop a question box on the Carly's Angels page, so you guys can let us know what you think. If you have additional questions, if you want this to happen again, just let us know all your thoughts and comments, and we'll take them under advisement.
Thanks, everyone.
Love you guys.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot. And take care. Enjoy the movie, everyone. Thanks so much.